to open his mouth, to speak, and as he did, the figure on the wall opened with him. The yellow chalk lines blurred. Beads of red popped like sweat from pores. Dark crimson fluid began to drain from the figure's hair and eyes, to run across the floor in spidery tendrils, throbbing as they stretched in all directions. Fingers poked out between the boards of the attic wall. Dozens of black-clawed, gray-fleshed hands wrapped around the wood from the other side. Yellow eyes and puckered mouths, pressing up against the wall from within. Fingers yanking at the wood, trying to pull it apart, to pop loose all the boards upon which this figure was drawn. The Gummer folk were coming through. "Don't," Cam managed to say, the word molassesing out of him. "Don't." But his voice was drowned by another, someone he couldn't see. Some booming health undertone that read to him. The poem. He'd remember it for the rest of his life, word for fucking word. The shattered man with wild hair. You better run, avoid his stare. If you see him, you are through, 'cause chances are, he already has seen you. On the final word, a board wrenched free with a snap. Fingers pulled it back into the darkness of the wall, and the Gummer folk began to slide into the attic. If they had ever been human, they definitely weren't now. Now they looked like someone had dug the bones out of regular people, held their skins to a flame and watched them melt. Their shoulders oozed halfway down their sides, arms bent out of their abdomens, legs dribbled directly down from their ribs. Their heads rolled, sloshing against their chests. Their faces drooped, and their waxy lips opened, closed like fish on hooks, choking on air. Their clothes were all askew, simple t-shirts and denim jeans, on sidewise and janky. Their hair was tufts of brown wire plugged into the warm clay of their scalps. The Gummer folk, an abandoned project forgotten in the cellar of the universe, squeezed their way out of this bleeding hole one at a time and spread like multiplying cells, expanding through the attic, wobbling and sloshing, some poorly made cross between a man, a leech, and one of those slippery snake tube toys you find at like Rainforest Cafe. God gave up while making these. "Don't," said Cam, more strained this time, like shouting through mud. So many of them pouring through the hole, warbling and swaggering around the attic, aimless, until their eyes landed on Cam. The first oodled its way around the side of the sofa. Its arms dangled at its sides, one twisted to the front, the other wrenched behind its back. It opened its mouth and ran its bugged eyes, one falling far down its cheek, over the entire course of Cam's body. He could feel the eyes like snakes upon his limbs, slithering up and down, tasting him. The Gummer thing made slobbery, licky noises, wavering side to side, then fell on him. It smacked its mouth against the side of Cam's neck, the fleshy bit with lots of strings inside. And it began to chew. To gum, really, because it had no teeth. It gnawed at him very slowly. And as it did, Cam realized its lips weren't waxy, weak things at all. They had muscle behind them. They were strong. It'd take a while, yes, but this thing was going to gum him to death, no doubt about it. In a matter of maybe 2 or 3 agonizingly slow, gradually more painful hours, Cam was going to die at the hands of a toothless leech. Another fell upon his ankle, splatting prostrate onto the floor. It moaned with pleasure, and its eyes rolled in opposite directions as it sucked at the side of Cam's foot, just over the big knob of bone. Another fell on Cam's arm. Its mouth began to work at the flesh inside his elbow. Gums clenching, squeezing, releasing. He could feel tongues rolling over him, warm, wet slobbering. Their jaws were strong, so strong. But he couldn't move, couldn't fend them off. Another Gummer thing tripped over the one on the...